Welcome back. All right, so we have two more we're going to do. This time we're going to be using some substitution, which we haven't looked at really at all yet. So I wanted to make sure that we got a chance to see what that's going to look like. Okay? All right, so notice this time on problem number 3, we did 1 and 2 in the last video. I have two givens. I have a 4x plus y equals 14x plus 1, and then I also have this x equals 2. And I'm trying to prove that y equals 21. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to first put my statements, and then I'm going to put my reasons. Set up my columns, and then I'm ready to go. All right, so I'm going to start with my first given. Sometimes I look at one given if I have more than one, and I'll say, is there anything I can do with that before I move on? Okay, so 4x plus y equals 14x plus 1. Okay, and when I look at that, there's no terms that I could combine on that side. There's no terms that I could combine on that side. So I'm pretty much, that's where it's going to be. There's not a whole lot I can do. But I do know that this is given to me. Okay? And then the x equals 2 is also given to me. So I'm going to put that on the next line. X equals 2 is also given to me. Okay? So since I know what x is, I can take that x and I can substitute it in to the other equation. Okay? So I can take my 4x plus y equals 14x plus 1, and I can say 4 times x is really 2, because I'm going to substitute that 2 in where x was, plus y equals 14 times 2 plus 1. Okay, so again, what did I do? I substituted the 2 in for the x. So that's going to be substitution. Now be careful if you just put sub and then you put POE, because I told you in the last video I'm okay with you abbreviating. If I just put sub, here's my problem. Did I mean substitution or did I mean subtraction? So you're going to have to go a little bit further than that and say substitution, right? I need a little bit more so that I know if it's substitution or subtraction, right? So give me a little bit more, okay? Now here we come upon an issue that's going to be not in my table up on top, okay? I need to just simplify by doing my 4 times 2, which is 8, and my 14 times 2, which is 28. Okay? So what I'm going to put over here is that we just simplified. Okay? So anytime you're just doing regular multiplication, not from one side to the other, but just regular multiplication, or you can just call that simplifying. Okay? All right, so the next thing I need to do, now I can see I have this 28 plus the 1 on the same side of the equals, which means I can do 28 plus 1. I know that's 29. So I'm going to do that next. 28 plus 1 is 29. So 8 plus y equals 28 plus 1, which is 29. That is in my list. We added, but it's not the addition property of equality because I didn't add on both sides. I combined like terms. So this one, when I put these two together on the same side to get the 29, that is combining like terms. Okay. All right, so now all I have left to do is get that y all by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides because it's a positive 8 and I need to move it to the other side. This is going to leave me with y equals 29 minus 8 is 21, which is what, if I look way up here, that is what I was trying to prove, but I do not use the word prove or proof or proven or anything like that. How did I get from the previous problem to here? I can see what I did. I subtracted on both sides, so that means I did the subtraction property of equality. Again, you can't just put SUB because I need to be able to tell the difference between substitution and subtraction. Okay, so make sure you don't abbreviate too much. All right, so there is that proof in total. I have two givens, a substitution, a simplify, a combine like terms, and a subtraction. Again, you can use something more than once. Sometimes you might have to subtract a couple times. Sometimes you might add a couple times. Okay, so you're allowed to repeat them. All right, let's do one more, and then you'll be ready for your assessment. All right, so this again, I have 4 times x plus y equals 48, and I also have y equals 6, and I'm trying to prove that x equals 6. Oops, sorry. I'm going to do statements and reasons. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my givens, and I'm going to start there. So my first given is 4x plus y equals 48. 4 times x plus y equals 48, and that was given to me. Okay, so now I have two options. I could put the next given, and I could even substitute in the y equals 6. Or I could distribute the 4 and have 4x plus 4y equals 48. So we could do it either way. I could distribute now and then put in my y equals 6 later. Or I could put the y equals 6 in now and then go from there. I'm going to go ahead and distribute now. So I'm going to multiply the 4 times the x and the 4 times the y. So that's going to give me 4x plus 4y equals 48. And again, what did I do to get from here to here? I used my distributive property of equality. Okay? So now I'm ready to look at that second given. The second given is y equals 6. So I'm going to look at that second given, y equals 6, and write that into my proof. Okay, now I'm ready to substitute that in. So I'm going to replace, in my second sentence here, I'm going to replace the y with what it equals. It equals 6. So I'm going to do 4x plus 4 times y, which is 6, equals 48. So that was substitution, property of equality. Okay? And again, make sure that you don't just put sub, because then I don't know if you mean substitution or if you mean subtraction. Okay? All right, the next thing I need to do is just multiply. I'm going to simplify my 4 times my 6. So I'm going to do 4x plus 24 equals 48, and that is just simplification, so simplify. Okay, and that would also work if you had a fraction that could divide or it could reduce. You could use simplify. All right, now I'm almost there. I got 2 more steps and then we'll be all done. I need to move that 24 so the 4x is all by itself. So I'm going to lightly subtract 24. Just real lightly because it's not technically part of the work of the proof. Okay? All right, so when I do that, I end up with 4x equals 48 minus 24 is 24. And again, how did I get that? I subtracted by 24 on both sides, so that's my subtraction property of equality. Again, don't abbreviate too much that I can't tell the difference between substitute and subtract. Okay? All right, one last thing I still need to do. I need to divide by 4 on both sides to get the x by itself. I'm going to do it real light because it's just the work of the problem, not the actual step of the problem. 4 over 4 is 1, so 1x equals 24 divided by 4 is 6. Let me look back up here at the top. Is that what it's trying to prove? X is 6, yes. So do I put the word prove right here? No, I do not, right? The word prove never goes here. What did I do to get from here to here? I divided by 4 on both sides. So that's my division property of equality. Okay, so here is my whole proof. Okay? All right, so in your assessment today, you're going to be doing both sides of the proof. You're going to have to put them both in order. Your steps will be given to you. You'll just have to make sure you put everything where it goes. Yesterday, we just had to do the reason side. Today, we're going to have to do both sides. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching.